energetic day. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And we are going to start with our deep breathing today. I am aware that I am not on the screen. I've done this on purpose this morning for you to see the graphic because I have been remiss in ensuring that you get to see the graphic in case you want to take a screenshot of it to understand what portions of your brain are being used for today's live. On your own, go ahead and you're going to do 3 deep cleansing breaths. Inhale and exhale 3 times on your own. What you're doing is emotional regulation. You're quieting the amygdala to let it know that it's okay to receive this information, as some of it may be, because we're talking about procrastination today, that right amygdala may be trying to pop off. So we're calming it down, strengthening the prefrontal cortex, and on your own, go ahead and inhale and exhale 3 times. Good morning. It is me, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. Louise is my middle name. Daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and what? Great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. Today, we are talking about the principle of real leadership. Do it now. Procrastination is the enemy. Found out a lot of interesting little facts to the point where I did do it now for the real leader brain as well as the personal accountability. So we are doing a mental workout. Ensure that you have your water ready to go. The brain is 75% water and it needs to be hydrated. As you use it, it's a muscle. It requires hydration. The quote in my book for Do It Now is this: there is only one thing gained from procrastination. Nothing. You're going to gain nothing by procrastinating. You might strengthen your right amygdala. So your right amygdala is like, yeah, put that shit off, baby. I'm over here. I'm big swole over here. Pocket's on bodybuilder. That's probably the only thing that you're going to gain. But in 2008, when I wrote the book, I didn't have the neurological information. I knew it was bad, but now I know why it's bad. Okay, so how did we get here? Neurogenesis, the creation of these amazing neurons. You got 86 billion of those mofos. What? 86 billion. You sitting on billions too. Neuroplasticity, that's the creation of a synaptic connection to create neural pathways. And yesterday from the Brain Bit, we learned that you have the capability to create 860 trillion synaptic connections. All right? So if somebody tell you can't do something, say, yeah, you might not be able to. But I got 860 trillion synaptic connections going on up and through here. I can do all things, the big and the small things. You take all of those, you put it together, you combine it with those amazing 74 principles of real leadership and that wonderful, fascinating theory of personal accountability. And what do you get? Neuropability, which means you got the ability to be a bad mofo day in and day out. What? And on top of that, we're going to use our working memory. You're using your working memory every day anyway. Dozens, if not hundreds of times a day. Now, it might not be working, so you might just be doing the same old stuff day in and day out. But over here, in the land of real leaders, we out here doing some things. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the amazing regions of your amazing brain. So what regions of the brain and what hemispheres are involved in Do It Now? Because procrastination is the enemy. Look at all that you got going on. These are the regions of your brain. When you start procrastinating, this is how much neurologically you are impacting on the daily basis. Look at all that. It's 8 of them that's really being impacted by you saying, I don't need to do that. That's all right. I'll put that off. I'll do that tomorrow. Today. I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to do that next month. I'm going to do that next year. Okay, cool. Look what you're doing to your brain by saying that simple sentence. Look what you're doing. You don't want to do that, okay? That's no bueno. You're not exercising. You're not going to get to your 860 trillion synaptic connections procrastinating. That's not how that's going to work. All right, so what regions and what hemisphere of the brain are used to do it now? Because procrastination is the enemy. To do it now and overcome procrastination, your brain must, what in the hell? I can't read my hand. Oh, you must access a powerful circuit of executive function. It's going to require discipline and action control. Discipline. And so anytime y'all hear discipline, know that the research said motivation. And we don't believe in motivation over here because that's bullshit. It's temporary and you're going to have to keep doing it. Discipline happens day in and day out. And it's primarily centered in the left hemisphere, and that's the key frontal region of the brain. So you're going to be focusing on the left hemisphere, and these are the 8 regions that are activated to do it now. Number 1, the amazing dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and that's where you're planning, your prioritization, and self-discipline, and staying on task. That's happening in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. See that DLPFC? That's where it's happening. Next up on the scene is the anterior cingulate cortex, which is right there. And that is responsible for detecting conflict, focusing attention, and pushing through resistance. So you have a task, you need to get it done. Left amygdala is like, all right, let's get this done. Right amygdala is like, nah, man, we're not about to do that. ACC is saying, good morning, Lola. The ACC is saying, yeah, we about to do it. And then right amygdala is like, no, we're not. No, we're not. So that's what the ACC is doing. It's saying, sit down, right amygdala, be humble. Next up on the scene is the basal ganglia, and it is enacting, it's initiating actions. It's the one that says, go ahead and get this done. It's the habit formation for good and bad habits, and it reduces the friction to start the task. So you got the right amygdala saying, we're not doing this. The ACC saying, yes, we are. And then basal ganglia is the moderator, like, yeah, shut up, y'all. We're just going to get it done. We're going to be quiet. Let's just get it done. Now, we also have the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and that's where the decision making takes place and your emotional balance. And so saying, everybody just calm down, let's just get this done. Next up on the scene is we got the orbital frontal cortex, and that's the OFC. You down with OFC? Yeah, you know me. Okay, so it's weighing the rewards versus delaying. And so it's urging actions now over delayed gratification. So it's saying, yeah, but if you don't wash the dishes right now, you still got 2 more meals to make. So then the kitchen is really going to be dirty. So do you really just want to just stop and chill and watch something on TikTok? Or do you just want to go ahead and do the dishes now and make life simpler for you later this evening when you got your adenosine just increasing and now you're going to be sleepy and then you really ain't going to do the dishes? So just go ahead, wash the dishes now. Okay. Number 6 is the left hemisphere dominance. Now remember, for to do it now, you working with the left hemisphere, because the right hemisphere got the right amygdala in it, and it's saying, we're not doing this now. So it is the logical reasoning language of self-talk, and it is planning the steps. It's saying, just go downstairs or go to your kitchen, go ahead and rinse the dishes off, start the dishwasher if you use the dishwasher, go ahead and wash it by hand if that's what you're doing. So it's saying, let's just go wash these dishes, okay? Number 7 is the insula. And it's sensing urgency and internal discipline to act. It's saying, come on, we gotta go wash these dishes. Stop, that's still gonna be there. Press pause, go get the dishes done. And then the new introduction to something that we are just being exposed to today, that I was just exposed to yesterday. No, I'm sorry, this is from, this is correct. So it's the dopaminergic pathways. And we talked about that. And remember the first time I used the word, I couldn't pronounce it. It took me 3 days to get it. But hey, that's that orthographic processing center, the deficiency that I have. But I got it now. And so this new term is the VTA. And it's the ventral tegmental area, the VTA. Now, what's amazing about this is that it's the midbrain structure, and it's containing some dopamine. And everybody knows we love natural dopamine over here. And it is the dopamine producing neurons that play a crucial role in the brain's reward system. So when you don't procrastinate, the VTA is over here like, all right, I got you, doc. You want some dopamine? Okay, here we go. We about to give it to you. And it is involved in the discipline, the reinforcement, and the learning, and various emotional and cognitive functions related to that release of that dopamine. So it is awesome. And you know it's connected to the nucleus accumbens. And y'all know that the nucleus accumbens is the brain's pleasure center. That's where all that dopamine magic and everything is happening. And so, wow, you're going to get some dopamine released and you're going to access the pleasure system by stopping to procrastinate? Are you kidding me? Abso-freaking-lutely. Now, what questions, if any, do you have about those 8 brain regions that are being impacted by doing it now instead of procrastinating. Look at all that popping off over there. That's a lot going on. And I bet you didn't look at that left hemisphere just curving saying, we got you, boo-boo. Come on, go ahead. Let's do this. We ain't new to this. We true to this. We're not about to let procrastination stop us from doing shit. No way, Jose. VTA is VTA, the ventrotegmental area, VENTRA. TEGMENTAL area, VTA, ventrotegmental area. And that's going to have some dopamine in there, and it's attached to the nucleus accumbens. Good morning, Regina. So it's the ventrotegmental area. It's the midbrain structure containing dopamine, the dopamine producing neurons that play a crucial role in the brain's reward system. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, so now we over here, we're looking at which hemisphere is doing what. I'll go back to my handy dandy graphic, thanks to ChatGPT, Unfold, and me. So it's that left hemisphere, baby. It's initiating goal-directed behavior, and it's handling the task planning and the sequencing, and it's activating the self-instructional dialogue. Do it now, baby. No delay. Do it right now. Don't stop. Don't wait. Do it now. And it's also associated with the approach discipline. And so that means we're going to move forward. We're just going to get this done. We're going to move forward. All right. And then you have a minor role. Here's what the right hemisphere is doing. So it can activate avoidance behaviors. What? The right amygdala is going to activate the avoidance behaviors. So when you are saying, yeah, I don't feel like doing this, I'm going to delay it, it's all good, we can wait, the right amygdala is trying to take over. And it often involves emotional avoidance and future worry that fuels the procrastination. So it's telling you don't do it, and then it's going to worry about you not doing it, even though it told you not to do it. Ain't that some bullshit? How you going to tell me not to do it and then be like, oh shit, we didn't do that. Oh my God, now we got to do that. Now we got to do this. You the one told me don't do it. So you over here then advise me to delay it. And now you worry because we delayed it. Don't listen to the right amygdala when it's time to get something done. It's going to get you in trouble. Then God, it's like that friend that you just like, I didn't listen to you and now we in jail. I didn't listen to you and we in this precarious situation. So don't listen to the right amygdala in this moment. It's wrong. It's not the right amygdala. It's the wrong amygdala. It's telling you the wrong shit to do. And then it's like, ooh, I don't know. We gonna be, dang, why you wait so late? In college, you wait until 2 hours before the paper due. And now you over here trying to hurry up and type it. Like that. See, I told you not to go to the campus party, but you know the bros, the Qs was being out, so we had to go be with the bros. And now look at us. What we gonna do? Don't listen to the right amygdala in this instance because it's wrong. Okay. So in summary, Dr. Donna, do it now circuit. You hear me? The prefrontal cortex is the left hemisphere. It's gonna plan and organize and execute it immediately. It's the king, the queen, the reigning supreme. Do it now. Just do it now. Just do it now. The ACC is going to help you overcome that hesitation and start to focus. It's going to be like, listen here, right amygdala, sit your ass down. We're not listening to you. Last time we listened to you, it took us 6 months to recover. We're not listening to you. The basal ganglia, the homie, that's where all of the habits are formed. It's going to convert your decisions into physical actions. So you're going to be thinking about it. And the next thing you know, you'll be downstairs washing the dishes. You're not going to be Netflix and chill. You're going to be over here like, I ain't about to be washing 50 pots. That's not going to happen. Let me get this done now. And then you have the ventrotegmental area, the VTA, and the nucleus accumbens, and they're going to release some dopamine for you to energize you so you can do that task initiation. It's going to be like, all right, you about to wash the dishes? Okay, bet. Yep. All right, I got a little dopamine for you. Look at this. I got a little dopamine. Right amygdala over there like, I got some worry for you. I got some worry for you. You're like, worry, dopamine. I'm going with the dopamine. Let me go ahead and get this done. So you want to get it done now. Do it now. Don't wait. And have no fear. Dr. Donna is here. I got an activity for you that's going to ensure that you do it now. Let me switch my graphic. And where am I going? Here we go. Did it switch? Let's give it a second. Please switch. No, let's try it again. There we go. Nope. Did it do it? Come on, YouTube. Damn you, YouTube. Okay. I had some great graphics for you all, but apparently you can't switch out your graphics. Let me try one more thing because I will not be moved. Let me see what happens if I do none and go back and do one. Nope. Okay. Well, they will be on the page. I had 2 more great graphics for you. It's not allowing me to change it, but it's okay. We're going to move on. And YouTube is going to catch up to TikTok at some point. I wish they would just bite the stuff that actually works. Okay. So here are the 7 brain-based activities grounded in neuroscience to strengthen your do it now, because procrastination is the enemy. This is the best one of all of them, I think. That's why I made a real leader brain out of it. And I also made it a PA for today. So it is number 1 on the list, prefrontal power boost. Don't you just like that name? Prefrontal power boost. So what it does is it's going to do the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex activation. It's going to activate it. Remember, power twins activate back in the day. Okay, so here is the activity. The 1-minute start rule. The 1-minute start rule. And I was telling Nola to do this long ago before I even knew it was a thing. What you're going to do is you're going to set a timer and start the dreaded task for 60 seconds. That's it. You're just going to set the timer. 60 seconds. I'm going to just go downstairs, set the timer, and I'm going to start washing the dishes for 1 minute. And guess what that does, ladies and gentlemen? Kevin, I'm glad you asked the question. Here's why this works. Because it engages the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which handles task initiation. And so guess what that does? That overrides the delayed impulses of the messages being sent to you by the right amygdala. It's slow. It ain't quick on the draw. So you start doing the task, and guess what? The right amygdala don't know what happened. And that nice little 60 seconds is just long enough for the right amygdala to go, what the hell? You already washing the dish. All right. Wash the damn dishes. 1 minute. That's all it takes to override. Because the right amygdala, you know, unaccountable people lazy as shit. And a minute feels like an hour. So it's just going to sit there and be like, okay, go on and wash the dishes in. And then you're going to get that nice little dopamine boost. And that's going to create that neural pathway. So going forward, ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to complete the whole task. You only need 60 seconds of doing that task. And the right amygdala is going to sit down and be humble and be quiet. That's all it takes. Do it now. That's why I said in 2008, just do it now. Just do it now. You do it now, and now that feeling goes away. And now what's going to happen is you're going to create that neural pathway of doing it now, and the right amygdala is going to get weaker and weaker when it comes to procrastination. Number 2, you have the dopamine activation. So this is the reward pathways for the VTA and the nucleus accumbens, and here is the activity. Micro rewards, and we've talked about this before. You're going to give yourself a reward after your mini task. Mini, M-I-N-I, not M-A-N-Y. So you might just play a song. You don't want to watch, you want to wash the dishes, go ahead, wash the dishes and throw on your music. Go for a walk, do something that you like to do, paint, game, read, whatever you want to do, give yourself a mini reward. And that's going to start that neural pathway. So you mean when I do something, I get this reward? Yes, because remember, guess what your consequence is for delaying and procrastinating? Worry. Worry is going to show up when you listen to the right amygdala, and worry is going to allow the amygdala to start popping off. And now the left amygdala is going to forget that it's a great thing, and it's going to start ruminating on why did I wait? Why did I wait? Why did I wait? Why did I wait? And still have no active solution. So you can procrastinate and your reward is worry, or you can do it now and your reward is natural dopamine. And you're going to give yourself a mini treat, which is going to give you some more dopamine. How about that? You're going to get a twofer. Okay. So that's what you actually want to do. Go ahead and do it. And now you the second part of that, part two, part B on the other side, the flip side, you're getting double the rewards. Okay. And why does this work? Because it triggers the brain's dopamine system, reinforcing action and building momentum. So now when it comes to bigger tasks, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to procrastinate because you already know when I do small tasks, I get a little teeny tiny reward. So when I do this big old giant project, I'm going to give myself a big giant reward. I'm going to either not do it and get big giant worry, or I am going to do it and get a big giant dopamine boost. And that's why it's called the reward pathways. It's the dopamine activation because it's like, bam, I'm going to get these amazing rewards, and dopamine is always a good thing. Okay. Number 3 is decision simplification. Decision simplification is, and this is in the orbital frontal cortex, and the activity is this. You're going to do two-choice commitment. Two-choice commitment. So you're going to pick only between two clear actions. I'm going to send an email, or I'm going to review the outline. I'm going to wash the dishes, or I'm going to do laundry. That's it. You're just going to give yourself two things. And why does this work? Because it activates the orbital frontal cortex, and it weighs the options quickly so you don't have to overwhelm yourself. If you need to clean your whole house, you are not going to say, dang, I got to do laundry, I got to dust, I got to mop, I got to vacuum, I got to clean the windows, I got to go do some roofing and all that. We got to clean out the garage and all, because that's too much. So you're going to pick two things. And from those two things, you're going to pick one. And from that one thing, you're only going to do that one thing for 1 minute. Shut the right amygdala all the way down, and now you are on a do it now spree. Okay? So don't overwhelm yourself. I got 15 things to do today. No, you don't. You got 2 to choose from. Pick the top 2, and from there, pick one. Go ahead and do your 1 minute. Get her done, and you're going to be good to go. All right. Number 4, goal visualization, and this is in the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. That's what you're going to engage. And so the activity is mental rehearsal. We know over here, we don't do anything without a strategy. We don't do anything without a strategy. We don't go to the kitchen to get a snack without a strategy, especially if you are watching your health. If you go straight to the kitchen and you don't think about what you're going to eat, that right amygdala is going to jump in, and next thing you know, you're going to have 8 donuts in your hand. So don't do anything without a strategy, nothing at all. And so you're going to visualize, mentally rehearse the completed task and how it will feel. Man, how good am I going to feel when this kitchen is clean? How good am I going to feel when this closet is clean? How good am I going to feel when I finish this book, this project, whatever it is? Man, I'm going to feel good. And why does this work? Because it activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and that's connected to your emotions, to actions, and it strengthens your discipline. People are amazed at how disciplined I am. Ooh, I wish I could be motivated like you, Dr. Donna. I ain't fucking motivated. I'm disciplined as hell. Okay, I don't do motivation. All right, motivation is for suckers and losers. That's some shit they do over there in Loserville. I need a little bump and need a little hit of motivation. No, it's discipline over here. Cut me open, I bleed discipline. Okay, so it's going to strengthen your discipline just by saying it. I can do this. I see myself finishing these tasks. I see myself doing these hard, complex things or these simple things. You making up your bed. Okay, you could be procrastinating to do that. Some people ain't made their bed up since they bought the damn bed. And the bed's great. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna get right back in it. I don't need to make it up. All right. Number 5, I'm gonna do a body scan with task focus. So this is going to activate the insula. So the activity is a 5-second body check-in, and you're going to add action to that. So you're just going to pause and you're going to check in with your body. And then you're going to state your next move. All right. So I wash the dishes. Now I'm gonna go do this. So you're just checking in. And a lot of people don't check in with their body. You end up at a mental health crisis, and not my whole, I'm feeling exhausted because I felt those feelings and moved on. As we can see, I'm good. But when you don't check in with your body, and then you go to the primary care physician and you got all this shit wrong with you, it's because you wasn't checking in with your body every day. When you start checking in, you notice a little tenseness and all this, and my heart is beating. And I have my own blood pressure machine at home that I will be just angry with no. I'm like, I know my blood pressure's up. My blood pressure be 105. We're like, okay, well then I'm just mad. And I'm not boiling or seething. And so why this works is it activates the insula, enhancing awareness of urgency and internal drive. So you're finding and feeling your feelings. That's why it's so important for you to check in with yourself 15 minutes or more every day in your default mode network, which you're going to address here shortly, so that you can understand what's happening with you. What's going on with you and your body? If you're not checking in every day, 15 minutes or more, you have no idea. You're not self-reflecting. You're not saying, okay, how's this working? This isn't working. What do I need to do? That's what you have to do. So you're activating that to understand, why am I procrastinating? And if you're procrastinating over big things, fear. And I say procrastination is just fear with a bow. So if it's not in your day-to-day task and it's this big giant thing that you need to do, me with the neuroscience class, like, ooh, I gotta go back to school. I ain't been back to school since 2006. Shit, it's gonna be tests. It's a topic I ain't never heard of in my life. Take the damn class, Dr. Donna. Take the damn class. The worst you're gonna do is fail. And failure is not an option. You fail, you take the class again and again until you get it right. All right, number 6, you're going to create a pathway, and that's using the basal ganglia habit loop. So what is the activity? The activity is task trigger loop. So you're going to pair the start of a task with a consistent cue. When I drink my coffee, I open my to-do list, and we've talked about this previously. So you put something together. And now you have your reward, your coffee, your tea, me with my decaf coffee. And I got some fruit on my desk today. Got a white nectarine. So when I do that, I'm going to read my book. I'm going to open my email. I'm going to respond. I'm going to fire that employee after I pair it together. So why does it work? It strengthens the basal ganglia circuits that automate task initiation through habit loops. So when I wake up in the morning, I prepare for the live, then I go downstairs, I get my nasal rinse, I do all of these things. I pair those things together. I eat a spoonful of Greek yogurt that I hate so much, but the live active probiotics and everything in it are good for my health, because I was trying to eat it all at once. I'm like, dude, just take 3 big tablespoons throughout the day. Don't do this to yourself all at once. And so I just swoop, and then I'm like, oh, now I get to have my snack because I have my yogurt that I don't like, but it's healthy, so I have to take it. And then number 7 is the frontal lobe writing. And so the activity is end of day, do it now reflection. So you're going to get to the end of your day, you're going to sit down with your default mode network, and you're going to write for 3 minutes. What did I delay today and why? Why? Because you have to know why you're delaying it. Don't just let the right amygdala talk you into future worry. Do not let that take place. Why am I delaying this? And it's only really 2 reasons for procrastination. Again, you don't feel like it. So why don't you feel like it? Or it's fear with a bow. What are you afraid of? Why don't you feel like it? What are you afraid of? When you can answer those 2 questions, you are going to be better off. Now, why this works is because it strengthens self-regulation and it enhances prefrontal monitoring of procrastination patterns. So you actually have a procrastination pattern that you are unaware of. And when you sit with yourself in your default mode network and you are reflecting, you can now say, why do I always procrastinate washing the dishes? Why do I always procrastinate when it's time to pay my monthly expenses? Why do I always procrastinate when I have a big presentation? Why do I procrastinate when I got to handle conflict when it occurs? Now you can look at it, and now you can develop strategies for it. And now you can shut the right amygdala up. That's going to talk you into some future worry. And if you have years and years and years of procrastinating on a thing, today's the day you need to address that. In your default mode network, 15 minutes of network time, you need to literally sit down and say, I've been procrastinating for this for 17 years. What the hell is wrong with me? What is this tied to? Because it's tied to a negative neural pathway. And you got to go address it, because it's time to prune that neural pathway, get that bad boy out of there and create this new neural pathway that's actually going to benefit you. You have the ability to access 860 trillion synaptic connections. Okay, that's a lot. We don't have no trillionaires in the world yet. Okay, and if we do, they ain't 860 trillion. They're not that. So you have the ability to wire your brain away from these things that you are procrastinating. And now that you know that it's happening in the right amygdala, now you know that procrastination, do it now. The antidote to procrastination is the left hemisphere of the brain, do it now. And that 1 minute, go ahead and start task rule, you go ahead and get that done. The 1 minute start rule, you could do a lot. All right. So that's why it works, because it is strengthening those patterns of I'm going to do it now. And then you're pruning the procrastination neural pathway that's attached to that doggone right amygdala. So again, the activities are: number one, the prefrontal cortex power boost was activating the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and it's the 1 minute start rule. Number two is a dopamine activation reward pathway, VTA, to the nucleus accumbens. And what is all of that saying? Basically, you're just going to give yourself micro rewards so you can get your nice little dopamine tap, 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 and you can produce your own dopamine naturally. It doesn't have to come from some external source or external stimuli. Number three is decision simplification. You are not about to have 55 things to do and overwhelm yourself. You're going to pick the top two, and from those two, you're going to pick one, and then you're going to do the 1 minute start now rule. I'm going to start this, trick the right amygdala. Let's go, oh, man, damn it. And it already started. I'm going to wait till the next one. It's like double dutch, trying to wait to jump in. It's too late. Number four, goal visualization with the ventromedial prefrontal cortex engagement. So that's what you're going to do. And it's the activity of mental rehearsal. You're going to walk yourself through what it's actually going to look like and feel like when you're done. Number five is body scan with task focus on the insular activation. And that's, again, checking in with the body. How am I feeling? What's going on with me? Number six is create a pathway. You're going to talk to the homie, the basal ganglia, and create that habit loop. When I go make my snack, I shovel that doggone nasty ass Greek yogurt in, and then I reward myself with the rest of my snack. Because if I was waiting, I would be like, well, see, because I got to put the granola in it, and now we about to leave, and now I got to put it in the cooler, and I'm going to just wait till I get home, and then it'll be 3 days, and I ain't ate and then drop. And I said, stop being a punk, grab a fucking spoon, and go in that damn bucket quart size and just shovel it in. And now I've been doing that because then I was wasting it. It's like almost $10 for the thing because it's the organic one from Whole Foods. So now I'm just throwing food away. I'm feeling bad. I'm like, dang, well, you can't keep it longer than 2 weeks. And so it's spoiled. So I'm going to have to get a new one. And I forgot to put here go the strategy. Shut the hell up. Eat it. Every time you eat, before you eat, just shovel it in and reward yourself with your actual meal that you actually will enjoy. And then number seven is the frontal lobe writing. So at the end of the day, you're going to do it now. Reflection, 3 minutes of writing. What did I delay and why? And then when you get to your why, you're going to understand why you're procrastinating. And then you're going to stop procrastinating, because what we don't want is the right amygdala leading you down the wrong worry path. And I'm going to try this again because I'm determined. And it's probably not going. Did it work? Nope. Okay, messing up my flow there. Now I got to figure out something else, YouTube. Okay, it will be on the on my blog and on the Instagram, the Real Leader Instagram page. Excuse me. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits. First of all, do you have any questions on the actual 7 activities? Any questions, any comments, any aha moments like, whoa, it only takes a minute? That just blew me away yesterday. I was like, I knew I was right. I was like, do it now. Do it now. Just do it now. I just didn't know why, but I knew do it now was the answer. No preguntas. All right. Okay, here we go, yo. Talking about the brain benefits. Hey, yo, the brain knows this. The brain knows that. Losers don't know jack. So what about that? Dr. Donna is first up the bat. Okay. All right, Fife Dog, rest in peace. Number 1. Here is the brain benefit of doing it now. Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. It's going to improve focus and decision making. All right. So stay focused is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. Stay focused, okay? So when you do it now, you stay focused. So not only are you going to get rid of procrastination and do it now, but you're also going to stay focused, which is another principle of real leadership. And you can combine those neural pathways to get you to that 860 trillion synaptic connections. Now, the neuroscience insights behind this is that it enhances executive control, your attention, and inhibition of distractions. I'm going to say that again. It enhances executive control attention, and inhibitions of distractions. And we know that eliminate distractions is also one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So in this one benefit, you have 3 benefits in this one benefit. Okay. And bowling, they call that a turkey, baby. 3 strikes. Bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? This is just amazing. Number 2, benefit. The homie, basal ganglia, is also the superior motor area benefit. So what you're going to have is this faster task initiation. That 1 minute start rule. Bam, I'm going to start it. Shh. Right amygdala don't know what's happening. It's still trying to figure out. It's over there strategizing. Yeah, so what excuse we going to use right now is this meeting with the rest of the neurons in the right amygdala. It's like, yeah, this is what we going to do. What? Getting a notification. Boop, boop, on their iPhone. They started the task, clutching their right amygdala pearls. Like, what in the world? So the neuroscience behind this is the neuroscience insight is that it strengthens action starting circuits and habit formation. So you are going to be in the habit of doing it now. Basal ganglia is like, oh, so we got something to do. All right, bet. Go ahead and do it. Faster. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like the difference between Usain Bolt running 100 meters and my old ass. I ain't going to be at the starting blocks. He going to be at the finish line. Like, no. Oh, my God. They already started. Oh, damn you, left amygdala, left hemisphere. It's going to be very mad. Basal ganglia going to be like, hey, you too slow. You know what I'm saying? All right. Number 3 is you're going to have the ventral tegmental area, the VTA. And the nucleus accumbens. We know those, they bringing the dopamine. What you bringing? What you bringing to this do it now party? Oh, I got the dopamine. You know what I'm saying? I got the I ain't bringing ice, I'm bringing dopamine. So the neuroscience insight is this, is that it triggers dopamine for release of discipline and reward-driven behavior. So it's like, I got you, boo. I got you. Looking like Lenny off of doggone Good Times. My name is Lenny. I got to open up the coat when James was in jail. JJ, one of them, he opened up the coat and had all that stuff in his coat. So, yep, I got all kind of dopamine for you. Which kind you want? They flavored and everything. Oh, this that lemon dopamine. Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's that lemon drop right there. That's that good. Okay. Number 4, you're going to get the ACC and the insula. And the benefit is that it's going to reduce stress and anxiety. What? Yes, it is going to reduce stress and anxiety. So the neuroscience insight is that it lowers your emotional resistance and your internal tension by completing what's hanging over you. So the right amygdala is not going to have you worried. You are not going to be stressed out. You didn't listen to that right amygdala, talk to you into not doing it, and now you're worried and the right amygdala is quiet. What you worried about? Well, I was just saying for 20 minutes. I didn't say wait 17 years. Yeah, okay, right amygdala. So now you're not going to have stress because remember the whole goal is for the prefrontal cortex to run the brain and to have emotional regulation. So only listen to the right amygdala when there is a saber-toothed tiger coming at you. Real threats. Number 5 is the ventral medial prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. And so the benefit is that you have greater emotional regulation. And so the neuroscience insight behind this is it connects emotion to action, reducing overwhelm from task avoidance. So it's going to take that emotion and put it towards an action. And now you're not going to be over here like, I don't know what to do. Because you will have a strategy. You're going to have a strategy. You're going to do that 1 minute start rule and get it done. Number 6 is the orbital frontal cortex, also known as the OFC. And the benefits is enhanced self-control. So you are going to be more in control of yourself. The neuroscience insight behind this is that it helps delay short-term impulses for long-term gains. Okay? Helps delay short-term impulses for long-term gain. So you got delayed gratification or immediate gratification, and you're going to delay it. So this whole notion, I'm not doing this now. I'm not doing this because it's quick. The decision to not do it is quick. That's why you got to hurry up and do it because now you didn't overrode everything that the right amygdala is trying to stop you from doing, which is going to create future worry. So the next time you find yourself vacillating back and forth or whether or not you're going to do something, just ask yourself, do I want to worry about this later or do I want to do this now? Because you're going to worry about it because it was meant to do it now. So in the future, you're going to have something else to do too, plus this thing that you didn't do right now. So then you're going to have 50 more things to do. If you keep procrastinating, then you're going to be so overwhelmed. Then you're going to be so overtasked. Then you're going to have all this cortisol, brain fog, and everything else. And then you're just going to start talking about life is hard and adulting is adulting and all this other shit when it was self-inflicted. It was 1000% self-inflicted. So go ahead and just do the 1 minute start rule and all this shit will magically disappear. And then finally, number 7, and that's your prefrontal cortex overall. And so the benefit is strengthened time management. And in this instance, I'm going to let it stay because I don't believe in time management. But what's going to happen is because you started the task right at 60 seconds, you're going to be more alert and ready to go and finish the task. When you delay things, it's going to take up more time. It's going to take up more time because you got other stuff to do while you got this other thing that you put off. So now you're going to be all over the place. And because you got brain fog, because you worry, you are going to take more time because the decision making is going to be delayed and everything else because you procrastinated. But when you do it now, you're like, oh, I did that already. Oh, shoot, I finished early. I can take a power nap. Then you take a nap and your doggone adenosine is going to be lower again. And now you're really going to be alert and really be able to get some stuff done. So the neuroscience insight is that it improves planning, sequencing, and organization. So because you've gotten it done, now you feel good. Because why? The homies came and gave you some lemon drop dopamine. And so you good to go. And now you're like, oh, yeah, shoot, I got my dopamine. You know what I'm saying? It had a little caramel drizzle on top of it, little sprinkles. I'm ready. Let me get this next thing that I'm about to do. So the 7 benefits again are the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is going to have improved focus and decision making. Number 2, the basal ganglia and superior motor area are going to benefit from faster task initiation. The number 3, you're going to have the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens. They are going to have increased discipline and energy because they're the ones that's bringing the dopamine. Number 4 is the ACC and the insula, and you're going to have reduced stress and anxiety. Number 5 is the ventromedial prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. You're going to have greater emotional regulation. And when you're procrastinating, you're so emotional. When you just do it, you got to lock in. And so you don't have time to be all over the place and everything because you're actually performing something. So the working memory is engaged, prefrontal cortex, everybody has to listen and take instructions and do all the work. They're all in there working together as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. So it's a beautiful thing. The orbital number 6 is the orbital frontal cortex. That's the OFC. So now you have enhanced self-control. And then overall, number 7, your prefrontal cortex overall is going to be strengthened due to time management because you will not be delaying anything, because you will not be emotionally deregulated and all over the place, all up in your feelings and shit. Okay, so now we are at the hemispheric involvement and the summary. And we're going to get into our cognitive fitness and go ahead and get on up out of here. So the hemisphere involvement in this from a benefit perspective is that it is left hemisphere dominant. So I can at least show you my raggedy ass first graphic. It's not raggedy, but man, I wanted y'all to see those other two. Anyway, it is in God's will today, I guess. All right. Left hemisphere dominant. So roll in, do it now. It initiates goal-directed action. And it uses language for inner self-talk. It handles logical sequencing, and it's linked to approach discipline. So it initiates goal-directed action. It uses language for inner self-talk, and it's like, we getting ready to get this done. I'm not listening to you, right amygdala. We got to do it now. And it handles the logical sequencing and skills linked to the approaching discipline. So how do you stay disciplined and getting it done, especially when you don't feel like it or you're afraid to do it? And then from a right hemisphere perspective, the right hemisphere is more connected with avoidance, rumination, and emotion-driven hesitation. And it often fuels procrastination if it's overactive. So the right hemisphere is like, we're afraid we can't do that. No. And it's just fueling the procrastination. So when you find yourself just vacillating, just like, I don't feel like doing it. That's why you got to check in with the DMN, the default mode network, and say, dude, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Why we can't get this done? And now it's like, man, that's reading. We don't read well. Shit, that shit got math in it. We ain't about to be doing all that. They count money. I'm broke. My credit score is 2. I can't be over there doing that. And now you can understand what's stopping it. Why is the right amygdala so hell-bent adamant on you not doing this thing? And as soon as you understand it, what do? You enact the 60-second or 1 minute start now rule. Got it. Bet. I'm about to start. You can chill out later because all you're gonna do is make me worry in the future. I've been worrying about this for 10 years. I'm good to go. So right amygdala, you wrong right now. Okay, now the summary is this. So to defeat procrastination, because this is something that you have to overcome, because think about it. Every time you procrastinate, you can't access none of this. None of this is operating properly. Okay? So to defeat procrastination, you want to activate your left hemisphere and engage prefrontal and discipline circuits to turn intention into action. You want to defeat procrastination. Put your superhero cape on and say, dun 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 dun, we're coming to get procrastination. We're going to defeat you. Pow, pow, ping, 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 boom, boom. You got to go ahead and get procrastination. So you want to activate that left hemisphere and engage that prefrontal cortex in those discipline circuits. And then you're going to turn that intention into action. Okay, got it. And so for the brain alignment, what it's going to do is it's going to build momentum. It's going to reduce internal resistance, and it will rewire you for daily progress and completion. Once again, it's going to build momentum. You're going to create that neural pathway for you to be able to do it now. You're going to prune the procrastination neural pathway, which is going to ensure that you're not worrying about it in the future. It's going to reduce that internal resistance that's coming from the right amygdala, and it's going to rewire your daily progress for completing tasks. No, I cannot. The unnamed person, you're new to this, so no, I will not be doing that. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, so what questions do you have about the hemisphere involvement? Okay. And matter of fact, I forgot. I'm not fucking with y'all. I totally forgot. See that neural pathway? I forgot very quickly that I'm not addressing this motherfucker. See how that acquiescing? Pruning that neural pathway. All right, so here we are for the cognitive fitness. And the cognitive fitness for today is words that rhyme with show. Words that rhyme with show. You have 1 minute to create words that rhyme with show. Let me get to my handy dandy timer. As soon as I found my clock on my tablet. All right, 1 minute. Words that rhyme with show. The clock has started. 3 seconds in. Lola, I thought you was putting your earpiece in. How you typing? 30 seconds. Actually, 31 seconds. Oh, you're back. Got it. Words. You can do more than one. You have 15 seconds. Words that rhyme with show. SHOW. And we have 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, what do you have? Nola has no, glow, blow, bow, grow, toe, snow, yo-yo, micro, and low. Kevin has no, mo, go, fo, joe, flow, toe, co, and blow. And I got feedback yesterday about my rhymes. Yes, so Kevin, just to let you know, the Mississippi showed up, and Nola literally in her head, not only did she say hawk after the lie, but I think she said talk for and I said, no, Google it. It's not going to show up. And she was like, see, when you said it don't rhyme, but when I say it in my head, it does. Sweetie, it doesn't. It's not. It's not. But the Mississippi in you says that it does. So that's why we call her City-Sippy, because sometimes the Detroit show up and sometimes that Mississippi shows up. And she literally was like, no, but it does. But it does. Like, It doesn't, not in this instance. So the words that I have are so, no, go, although, though, low, below, oh, flow, ago, slow, pro, Joe, throw, blow, pro, mo, low, oh, glow, and ho. There's the Detroit side of me, but there you go. Okay, that was cool. Now, the brain bit for today. The brain bit is that the brain's default mode network, your DMN, is active during daydreaming or self-referential thinking. So self-referencing. So I'm in with myself. And guess what happens when you are in your default mode network? So you don't want to be daydreaming because then you don't know. No, I did not put the timer on myself. I did that this morning. So I did not. Because you like them a lot of words. But I had to be able to make sure that I encompassed all of your words. So I had mine already ready to go. I probably would have came up with about 10 in a minute. So again, for your default mode network, when you're daydreaming or you're doing your self-reflective time and thinking, it consumes 20% of the body's energy, despite the brain only being 2% of the body's weight. So when you are in default mode network, you are consuming 20% of your energy in your body, whether you're daydreaming, which is no bueno, but when you're self-reflecting. And the brain is only 2% of the body's weight. So that's how important that self-reflection is. That's how important that energy is. That's why you don't want to daydream. You actually want to be present for it and checking what's going on, because you are using 20% of your body's energy. That's how important the DMN actually is to you. So that is brain bit for today. Part of the reason why I'm starting the brain bit is because I need content for the Real Leader page for Instagram. And so this is, again, I'm putting two tasks together because I don't feel like looking up shit separately. If I'm already researching, I'm going to be researching simultaneously for all of this. And based upon how busy my schedule keeps being, thanks to my amazing offspring. So the two questions for today, and then we'll be out of here, is what did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? Oh, Lord, I learned that I just stopped looking at myself on live. I clicked it out. Good to go. Catch me up. Okay. What did you learn today? I learned about the 1 minute start rule. I don't like the name of it. I'm probably going to change it to something else, but the 1 minute start rule. I learned about that because I knew just do it now. I kept saying do it now, do it now, do it now. And I didn't know why. And now that I know it's to override the right amygdala, that's awesome. And I learned about myself that I was about to respond to that person because it's a neural pathway that needs to be pruned. And then I remembered who I was and that I'm not doing that shit no more. And what was interesting is that I could feel it when people are trying to challenge me or tell me to do something that goes against what I'm doing. You can actually feel the unaccountability, negativity, energy in it now. Because I was like, well, this is disruptive. Kevin said, learned every day you should set the timer. Lola said, I learned more about how to get out of procrastination. And I think that is great, because for me in this process, and we are on this journey together, is that there are all these things that I was doing, and I was doing it. I knew it was the right thing to do, but I didn't have the science to back up what I was doing. And now I have the science. So when someone tries to call me superhuman and all these other things, I can say, no, it's neurological. You too can access 860 trillion synaptic connections if you want to. You have to want to be able to do this. So it has been amazing for me. And while it is exhausting at times, it's still rewarding because I still get my dopamine boost because I have this information. And because it's so kind of highbrow and boring, I have the ability, thanks to my higher power, which is God, to explain it to you all in everyday terminology so you get it, so you can implement it. Not really interested in telling people how smart I am. Talk to me long enough. You'll see I'm a genius. That's not the point. I don't need to be using all these big terms. So if I say the basal ganglia is the homie, and that's part of your memory, now you're like, oh yeah, man, that's the homie over there. All right, bet. The habits. Now you're over here getting the habits. If I tell you that dopamine is bringing flavored dopamine over here with the VTA and everything else in the nucleus accumbens, you're like, oh man, shoot, I'm gonna give me some vanilla dopamine today. Nola said, I learned about the 1 minute rule. Yes, get it started and just do it for 60 seconds. That's all. Because what happens is you think, man, I gotta do this. This is gonna be 2 hours. Nope, it's gonna be 60 seconds. And if you just take it 60 seconds at a time, you might finish faster than 2 hours. You might not need 120 minutes. You might need 30 minutes, 31 minutes. Nola said, I learned about myself. I've done so much hard stuff. I just have to jump in so I don't actually procrastinate because of challenges and my business. I've had to just do it by a certain time. I don't wait anymore. I do it now. Exactly. And that's why you just have to do it. Now, if it's some huge normative change, like I said, I give myself 15 minutes to bitch, moan, and complain, and then I get it done. If it's something I'm going to have to start doing, like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself a minute to do that. You give me, no, just do it now. Just set the clock and get up because your whole world. Yes, you're saying real leader challenges. Yes, ma'am. I get it. Okay. So Kevin and Lola, about yourself. I am really mad that I couldn't get those done. Why? I don't even understand that. I got these cool graphics and you're trying to compete with TikTok. You got to compete on all platforms, all facets, YouTube. I know the ops is listening. Fix that shit. Let me be able to change my green screen graphics. Go back to Snapchat and see that. Functionality, YouTube. User experience. I'm a creator, micro creator. That's not the point. I'm still on here doing good shit daily. So Kevin and Lola, would you learn about yourself and we can bust a move? If you want it, you got it. Show and prove. Kevin, myself, I learned that I can do a lot of things in a little, but I have only a little time to do a lot of things. Yes, I get that. And what happens is once you get systems for everything, that's the other reason why you can do so many things. Because you're just using a working memory to recall to the hippocampus, say, we need to go do this. We need to post on social media. We need to, for you, in your case, we need to call a developer. We need to call the electrician. We need to call whomever to get this done. We need to go to the shop and do these things. And then it just gets automated. So you experience that cognitive overload initially, and then you get a system in place, and now you're just rinsing and repeating. And that's why you can handle more than what appears to be the average bear. Because again, you got way more neuropathic connections, that synaptic connectivity that can go up to 860 trillion. So you have more brain capacity to do it. That's all you need is more bandwidth. Remember back in the day for computers, we used to have to buy more RAM. We used to have to buy it and put it in the in the back of the big ass CPU in order to hold more, where your brain can actually hold more. And then Lola said, I learned the part of the brain that makes me a doer. Yes, that's that left hemisphere domination and that right hemisphere. So just think that 1 minute start now rule is just going, that 1 minute start and you're going to get it done. And if the right amygdala is telling you not, you either don't feel like doing it or you're afraid. So you're going to go into your default mode network, use 20% of the body's energy, find out why you don't feel like doing it or what you're afraid of, develop a strategy and go ahead and get it done. Because if you listen to that right amygdala, your reward is going to be worry. But if you listen to the left amygdala and the left hemisphere, your reward is going to be dopamine, which is good. The good dopamine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time for today. We got to get out of here. We got to go to Lord knows where. Got a long way to go. No, actually, the first appointment is as far as the second appointment, but it is at 8 o'clock, and I need to stretch and get my nice, amazing bowl of oatmeal. Yeah. So I have to do that. God willing, higher power, and the universe. I will be back por la mañana, same time, same place, safe space, different brain t-shirt. You all go off and have a brain-tastic, do it now, productive day. Take care. Adios.